This is a video for the APC Rally. In particular, for this year is 2024, but it can be used for any of John's rallies, any of the APC rallies into the future. Personally, I have done the APC rallies since 2012. Highly recommended. If you're sitting on the fence and you're thinking about it, oh, should I, shouldn't I? Jump in. You will not be disappointed. It's a great ride. John never disappoints with the course. He makes it so you can do it, and he puts alternate routes and bits and pieces. And the great thing I like about the APC Rally, the biggest thing is you're never riding in dust unless you're sticking with a group. Because you have your file and your GPX, and you can just follow it and use your track notes. You've always got support coming behind, and if you have the a spot tracker, or you've got the 360 Live app on your phone that John's using this year, and you stop somewhere for too long, and let's just say, you know, you've got a flat tyre because you didn't put your ultra heavy duty tubes or your right tyres on, and you're getting flats, you know, and you're stuck or you need a bit of help. If your spot doesn't move for a while, John will try and contact you, and if he can't, he'll contact other guys up ahead and say, oh, did you go past so-and-so back on the course? What's wrong? And you'll always have guys coming up behind you anyway, usually during the day. And you can ride this ride alone and know that support's there, but you're not riding in a pack. It's a really good experience. It's different to when you're doing the operated tours, but at night you guys all catch up in the pub, or if you want to camp and do whatever, that's fine. But that's just my take on it. And for the slower guys, and guys that are newer to adventure riding, just take your time. That's the best advice I could give you. Take your time, leave earlier than everyone else in the morning. That way you've always got the support coming. And all you have to do is plod all day long. Don't stop for 100 coffee breaks. Just keep moving. Stop to get your fuel, have a bite to eat, you know, quickly stop, get some photos, take it all in. But don't do 30-minute coffee breaks, you know, and pull out the coffee maker and start making coffee. That's going to, you know, slow you down. Then you'll be staying in towns before and all that sort of thing. But if you just keep the movement happening. So I'll go through John's gear recommendations and what I've personally been using myself for all these years and learning from John. Your GPS should be hardwired into your bike. It's not that difficult. All you do is run the leads to your battery. And I'll just use this this Garmin Tread. I've had a few of the I've had two Montanas. I had a 62S, but now I just use my Tread. And as my backup, I use my Gaia app on the phone. So if you use your Gaia app on your mobile, you got your backups. I run them both, and I constantly charge my phone. I've got a USB that I put in my bike here, runs into my phone, so my phone is constantly charging because the Gaia does use a lot of charge, but I like to leave it on. But also on my phone, I've also got HEMA map, and I've also got the Garmin Tread map as well. So I've got so many backups, yeah. So that's it for your GPS. I just having two is always better, because if one fails, you've got the other one to rely on. Okay, John's other gear recommendations: chain and sprockets, definitely. Just make sure they're in good nick. Mine are completely stuffed. They've had it. It's done 30,000 Ks this Tenere, and I would say that's the original. Just make sure you get the right chain, you know, the X-ring, and carry a spare link. Having that spare link can come in handy. Not that I've ever had to use it, but it's something that you should definitely carry with you. Your riding gear. A good pair of boots. You know, these are the Alpine Dry Star things. They're great. They're good. I like those. They're comfortable for me. Not sponsored or anything like that. I pay for all my gear. I've had these O'Neill pump guns for years for my knee guards. I like to have the the hard plastic knee guards. I'm not a fan of just the soft ones. And that, you know, so many sticks over the years have smashed into my leg, and they've done their job. I don't wear the knee braces when I'm adventure riding, just my knee guards. I've got a helmet, you know, you've got to have a good helmet. I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but I've got a helmet down there. Your pants, riding pants, your jacket, you know, that's what I use. That time of the year, I'll have a wet weather jacket to throw over the top. I don't worry about my legs. I just let my legs get wet. I'm not fussed. My legs don't seem to feel I guess that's all of us, don't feel as, you know, everything. But your upper body and around your chest, you got to keep that pretty warm. What else does John say? We need a camelback. Yeah, I've got one up here. I've had this for years. Does the job. I put my hat and sunglasses and everything John recommends in here. Carry a hat and sunnies. I put it in my backpack because when I stop, I like to take and have something to eat or fix my bike. I like to take my backpack off, so I just chuck it in here, and it's easy to get out. The tank bag, I use a small tank bag. I don't use a big one. This one I have here, the Endurostin. It's really good size. And what I found before is if I had a big tank bag, I'd just load it up with stuff like a woman's handbag. But now I've got the smaller tank bag. I've only got it up to here. I've even got my little drone in there. What else? Okay, on John's list. All right, he has here under riding gear. You need at least 2 litres of water in your backpack. Agree? Or whether it's in your riding suit built in, it's totally up to you. Leatherman, definitely needed. They're handy for the pliers, they're handy for cutting stuff and whatever. And a lighter, a cigarette lighter. John always recommends carrying a lighter, and I always do. I actually carry 2. I don't just carry 1, I carry 2. Because if you've got a flat tyre and it's getting late in the day and you need to get warm, and you know, or your bike's broken down, even if the sticks and everything are damp, you just get a bit of petrol out of your bike and put it on top of the sticks and light it, and you got warmth. And you know, that can be really important, especially if you're up in the mountains somewhere, you know, and you know, you just decided to stay the night. You got your fire. Clothes. John recommends 3 socks, 3 undies, 2 shirts, pair of jeans, a jumper, shorts, thongs, and casual sneakers. No more. Totally agree. The only thing I don't do is I don't take jeans. I just carry camp pants. They're in my side pannier. I keep everything from my whole rally just in here. I have my tools there, my clothes on that side with what John recommends there. And then with your clothes, I wash them in the shower at night, and then people laugh at me all the time. What's that? And I go, oh, some undies and my socks. I wash them, but they're always fresh, and I stick them underneath my strap on the bag in the morning. So long as it's not too dusty, I'm not riding behind people. They turn out pretty well, but they get a bit, you know, a bit harsh, a bit crinkly. But you know, that's what works for me, and that's how I do my washing. So the bike's also the washing line. So that's your clothes. On top of the clothes, I actually take, John didn't mention on his list, I take just one of these Kathmandu jackets, and I normally have a pair of Andy Straps thermals. I find them really good. Andy's ones go right down at the back and they come right up at the neck, and they're really good. I find them, I'm on my second pair of Andy Straps thermals, and Andy's not paying me to say that, I just want to say. And John recommends Andy Straps. I've got Andy Straps. I've got a few different bag systems that I use. And Andy Straps are good bags. I will tell you that. And they do the job. Yeah, my wet weather stuff, I just have that to chuck over the top of my riding jacket. And if it is really cold, I'll put my Kathmandu under my riding jacket. My shoes are in here. I've also got my heated gloves. So yeah, I just, you know, carry the minimum. This thing here, that's light, you know, really, really light. I don't overpack. And like I said, my clothes are on that side. I'll put my clothes on the exhaust side, and my tools on this side, just to even the weight up with the exhaust pipe. And the yeah, well that's what I do. Make sure you keep your bag off your pipe. The very first ride I did with John, I was in heading down towards, we'd gone past Oberon and we're going through one of the national parks there. Did a creek crossing and I could smell burning, and I was going, oh, something's burning, and I could smell rubber, and I started riding up the hill and I looked in my mirror, I could see smoke. I turned around, my bag's on fire. So I was wearing everybody else's bits and pieces of clothes for the rest of that ride. But that was my very first ride, my very first good lesson that I learnt. And that's to keep your bag away from your exhaust. So that's really, really important. Your clothes bag especially. Your personal items that you should take, is your toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant. You know, brush if you want to brush your hair. I don't brush my hair. So the headache tablets, a bit of lip balm. Lip balm can be good. I haven't got any at the moment, but yeah, I'd highly recommend it. You don't get the burnt lips. Camping gear if you're going to camp. And John has his recommendations for what you should be carrying there if you're camping. Definitely take a phone charger. The food that I take on me on every ride, and especially on when I'm doing the APC Rally also, because I might go back and help someone and, you know, I'm getting hungry or whatever, I always have a bag of nuts, a bag of sultanas. They're just in here in my backpack, and in my bag here, in my rolly, I just put a can of that beef soup that you buy from Woolies. That, you know, I just have that and a spoon. So, and I haven't used it in years, but I do turn it over, so it's not old. Bike spares and tools. You'll need to be able to change a tyre, definitely. But if you're running ultra heavy duty tubes that John suggests, make sure you run the ultra heavy duties, not just heavy duties. A really good set of tyres. I've got Pirelli Scorpion Rally on the front of this bike, and I've got a Motos Tractionator on the back. You run that mix on this size bike, and particularly with the ultra heavy duty tubes. You can run any tyre brand as long as they're good and reputable. That's what works well for me. I haven't had a flat in over 10 years, and I've been running ultra heavy duty tubes since I did my first APC Rally with John, and they do the job. I'm yet to touch wood, and I do every few tyre changes. I just change them out. I just put new ultra heavies in, because I think, what are they, 30 or 40, maybe $50, maybe more. I'm not sure, but it saves the hassle. You know, you can just keep moving all day long, and just run them at the right pressures. John recommends 28 psi, and that's probably about right. That's a really good pressure to run at. Okay, John also suggests you set an Allen keys, just all the tools for your bike. What I do when I'm doing any work on my bike here, I just if I pull it apart with my other tools, I always put it back together with what I've got. That's what I do. John has a list of tools that you should be carrying. Spare fuel filter, yeah, for some bikes, definitely. Spare fuses, electrical tape. I have electrical tape, cable ties, and just take something to clean your air filter. You know, at least once. If you go through the notes, he tells you the detail on what to do there. There's one thing that John misses on here this year, is 2-part metal. I always carry it, a recommendation too from the APC Rally early days, because if you get a cracked radiator, you can just get your 2-part, smash it together and do that. And also if you don't have the right protection here and you get a crack in your case, you can fix it with a 2-part metal. what else does John go on to say? And here we go. Yeah, all that stuff should be in your tool roll. Here we go. Panniers and tie downs. Panniers and tie downs. The reason why John suggests that, and so if you do have a crash, they don't get wrecked. If you have the metal ones, I've seen them before, guys on John's rally, on 990s and stuff, and they've had a crash and their pannier is pointing back that way with the lid open. And there's nothing you can do about it. And John recommends ratchet straps, cut the ends off to make sure you burn the ends as well, so they don't keep fraying. Buy a set of 4 and use the 2 for bits and pieces. Buy 2 dry bags, and so your stuff won't get wet. Definitely get 2 dry bags, stick them inside. My one, I've got these little dry bags inside of my panniers here. I've got a spare one there. There's my jump starter, and that's my dry bag. So my clothes are in a similar thing on the other side, but that's all my tools. So, well, I hope it doesn't all go pear-shaped on me now. There you go. Hope that doesn't drop. And so that's it. You just slot that in there. Again, I've got a spare one, a spare dry bag. Use Andy's ones, Andy straps, bags, whatever bags you like. I like these ones. I don't carry too much in them, and they sit really well on the bike. They sit in close. I don't have racks on this bike, but that's a personal choice of mine. Yeah, so basically when I go in a pub at night, I just take my 2 bags out and I take that off and my GPS and chuck it all in there, and I'm in and out. You can do it really quick. Wet weather gear, definitely. I just showed you before. Have your wet weather gear. I just have an outer rain coat thing. That works for me. Bike mods. John suggests putting a plate on the bottom of your stand. I just carry a squash Coke can. Works good for me. I don't know where to get one of those things, but I've got one on my other bike. But yeah, a squash can's good enough. It does the job. But if you want to get the plate, go for it. You can get them everywhere, I believe. Something like bark busters, just to protect your hands. And also Loctite all your bolts. John says here, especially your rear subframe, definitely. And I Loctite pretty much everything on this bike. What else does he suggest here? I strongly recommend fuel bladders. Yeah, okay. Yeah, take fuel bladder. If your bike's got low fuel range, like on this thing, I only don't get a lot of, this is only take 16 litres. I do have a fuel bladder. I've got a 5 litre one, Australian made. I bought it from John years ago, and I still use it today. It does the job really, really well, and they're Australian approved. Check your wheel bearings, definitely. Check the head bearings. Just put it up on a stand, something like that, and just give it a shake and see if they're loose. And John says at the end, just the lighter you travel, the less problems you're going to have. I totally agree with that. You don't want to have a bike with all your stuff packed up here and carrying tools for everybody else's bike. Just carry stuff for yourself. And in your toolkit, I can go through that. My toolkit, what I have in my toolkit in another video. But anyway, guys, I'll leave it here. It's been dragging on for a while. Listen to what John says. Go through his notes. If there's something you think of, just bring it or take it or whatever. But don't overpack. Most important thing, it'll be a much more enjoyable ride if you just carrying exactly what you need. And John's been doing this a long time. And I'm doing the rally this year. in 2024, and I look forward to seeing you guys. I'm a Sydney starter. So yeah, I'll see you guys out there, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's only new in 2024. And yeah, thanks for listening, and sorry for dragging on so much, but I just thought it was important to go through this, that nobody misses anything. Okay, I'll see you guys out in the rally. See ya.